Citizens of my world union, witness your first day in a united world. One currency, one language, one goal, to strive every day to make the lives of all men better and better. One dictator? Oh yes, I know that some of you are thinking that, and I know where this fear is coming from. The same fear that caused dear friends to strike down Julius Caesar right there in the Roman Forum. Fear of what he could become. For Brutus said he was ambitious. But, dear friends, you have no need to fear my ambitions. I am no dictator, but I must lead. For men at some time are masters of their fate. I will not ask you to follow me, but to take the journey with me. This journey to a better world! Look, just go back to feeding your pathetic poor and stay out of my business.
If you didn't care about the poor, why did you spend your fortune feeding them?
Because, my dear, the quickest way to a man's loyalty is through his belly. But still, they hold out their hands for more, always more. And you encourage them. Well, I'm sick of their stench, of their misery, of their disease. So let them starve. Let them die.
Well, those were clips from the movie Magneto, which is the Omega Code Part 2. If you ever saw the first one, it's pretty intense. The second one's even more intense. You got the picture. I mean, it's dramatization, it's a movie, but you got the idea. Here was a guy that was smooth and charismatic, and he was convincing, and he got everybody rallied up, and he drew hundreds of thousands to his crowds, for his crowds, and got everybody all excited. And then they put this guy in power with all his people, and then you hear at the end of the clip there that he changed once he got them. And he got them by giving away stuff. He got them by feeding them. In other words, he's giving them money, handing out things that they want. And he said, hey, the way to get to a man is through his belly. But yet they hold out more. In other words, they keep wanting more and more and more. And then you see the real person come out. Now, I'm not saying Barack Obama is going to turn around and say, look, let everybody starve, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm making the point that if we're ready in America to have a dictatorship, then I don't know what America is anymore. Because in all seriousness, that's what we're coming down to here. The way all the races are looking right now, Obama's ahead, and I'm not giving up on McCain yet, because I don't trust all these polls, but, if we have to look at the polls as something to look at, I'll put it out there. Right now, these polls say that Obama's ahead. It says that the Democrats are on their way to get a supermajority in the Senate, a filibuster proof, to regain a significant majority in the House. And basically what that means is there's going to be no more checks and balances. The system in America was set up a two-party system for a reason. It was so that one party could keep the other party in check, and that you could balance out legislation, you can balance out things that were getting done. It was basically to avoid a dictatorship. What we're looking at right now is the possibility that Barack Obama gets in the White House and whatever he says goes. Okay? And all his friends, Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid and Barney Frank, and then Al Franken, the Saturday Night Live comedian, is winning his Senate race. I can't imagine Al Franken in the Senate. You've got to be kidding me. We're going to have a comedian writing laws for the country? Is this what we're coming down to? Democrats out there? Is this what we're going to vote for? Is this what you're going to put in? I'm not saying we as a Democrat, but I'm saying we as a nation. Is this what we're, voting for? Comedians? No. My question is, what if you're wrong? And I'm speaking to Democrats and independents that are thinking about voting for Barack. If you do this, and you go in there and you write D's, vote for D's all the way down the line, Congress, House, local, everything, and this dictatorship gets in place, and it will be a dictatorship, because enough power on one side means the other side can't check it. You get a veto-proof majority, the president, won't even be able to do it. Even if McCain wins, but the Democrats get a significant, majority in the both houses. I mean, Democrat, in the Senate and the House. I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, they can get veto proof so that McCain couldn't even stop anything. Now, my question is, what if these policies are wrong? They look right, they sound right, you say, but what if they're wrong? It'll be too late. What if Barack Obama doesn't keep all these promises that he says he's going to do? Just like the guy earlier in the clip, he sounded great, got everybody all excited. But come on, how many politicians really keep all their promises? Do you think I think John McCain's going to keep 100% of his promises? No. I don't think so. I still think he's a much, much better choice. Much more experienced than Barack Obama. So I'm standing by John McCain. But how do you know Barack Obama is going to keep his promises? What if he doesn't? What if all of these things that you're writing off as nothing, all these ties to, Tony Rezko and Jeremiah Wright, the anti-American stuff, the terrorist William Ayers, and this reforming of the education system, and Acorn, his ties to Acorn, which admits that they want to reform communities. They want to change the way America runs. What if that change isn't for the better? Then what happens? Then we're screwed. We're stuck. At least until the next set of elections. In 2 years, I think they come around again, for the parties. I mean, for the, different branches of the House and the Senate, that stuff comes around. But what about until then? They can ram through anything that they want. It's effectively a dictatorship. That's my point of this video. Is America ready to have a dictatorship? Are you ready to have the Democrats basically run a dictatorship in this country? So anything that they want to jam through is going to go through. We can very easily see a lot of Christians lose their rights. We can see more abortions. We can see, even this whole union worker thing. I'm not a big fan of unions, but you know what? There's a big outcry about this because Barack Obama is in favor of taking away the secret ballot. Right now, if you're part of a union, you have a secret ballot. Obama wants to, take that away. And the reason why the secret ballot was there is just in case you disagree. You didn't have to be subject to, be penalized. But now he wants to remove the secret ballot. I mean, just issues like that. I mean, are you kidding me? And penalizing people for making more money and giving it to the poor so they have more and more and more. Instead of encouraging people to get up and work. Get out there and work hard, make money, make it someplace. That's what Barack Obama did. Right? I mean, didn't he work hard? He didn't get handouts from the government. He didn't say, I need some of the rich people to give me some money so I can make it. No, he didn't. He went out there and he worked hard and he got to where he's at. So did Hillary and everybody else that's out there. But Barack's in favor of taking money from a successful business and giving it to somebody who doesn't work as hard. It doesn't make any sense to me. Question is, are you ready to have a dictatorship? Because I think that's what we're heading for here. I may not convince you to not vote for Barack Obama, but, think twice. Maybe when you vote for the Congress and for the Senate and those people, maybe you won't hit, the D's all the way down the line. Maybe you think twice about letting one party have all the power. I don't want the Republicans having all the power. You hear that? I'm telling you the truth. I don't want the Republicans having all the power. I don't want the Republicans having a veto-proof majority. Because then if McCain or somebody else or some wacko peeps, Republican comes up and throws some legislation out there that's not going to be good, there'll be no way to stop it. I don't want that. I'd be glad to have the Democrats stop something. Right now there's a check and balance. That could go away. We could be looking at a one-man, one-party dictatorship. That's a scary thing. And if you want to take that chance, then go ahead and vote D all the way down the line. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take that chance. Obama can change. He can. Look, McCain can change too if he got in. I'm agreeing with that. But the Republicans aren't in a position right now to have a supermajority and have all the dictatorship over everything. Obama and the Democrats are. If you're happy about that, fine. Things are going to go the way they're going to go. But in the end, if you're wrong, we're stuck. If these policies don't help America, it's too late. There'll be no one to be able to stop it. Because one man, one dictator, one party will have all the power. Something just to think about. Thanks for listening. And may God help us and God bless America.